All right, guys, how's it going? So, some of you can't attend my live streams, and I was thinking maybe people don't know where I stand with a particular issue, a question that I get asked a lot on my live streams, and that is, Dunk, do you think Arne Slot will still be the head coach or manager or whatever you want to call him of Liverpool next season? It's the question I get the most on my live streams. And if you can't join the live streams, maybe you don't know where I stand on that. So in this video, I'm going to tell you. Now, what I will say is that the majority of the journalists, the good and the bad, are all saying or implying that he will be at Liverpool next year. But if you look very closely, you'll see that not one of them has categorically stated that he will be the manager or head coach, right, next season. I'm old school. I want to call him a manager, but I know some twat in the comment section, hey, he's a head coach. You don't even, do you know what I mean? So if I say manager, you know what I'm talking about. So categorically, none of them are saying he will be there. What they say is things like the intentions are, or Liverpool are planning, or Arne Slot is planning. They are planning to appoint this new mush, this new coach, etc., etc. Not they have appointed him, or not that they could appoint him, but something could still change. Just they're planning to do it. The intentions are that Arne Slot will be the manager, head coach next year, right? That's what they all say. Ornstein and Joyce are the only two journalists you need to pay attention to. I'm telling you, right? They're the only two you need to pay attention to. However, you've still got to look for club messaging and propaganda from them. You do, right? Because they're the two most trusted journalists, the closest journalists, depending on who it is within the organisation. An organisation, I mean, whether it's Liverpool or FSG, right? So if they lean on them sometimes, right, or give them, news and updates as to what's going on, more than they do the clique of journalists, right, that little pack of useless fuckers, the others, right. If they are getting something from them too, right, Joyce and Ornstein, then sometimes they have to do something for them as well. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not a one-way relationship. So yeah, we'll keep you in the loop, but sometimes we need to lean on you, to get you. You know what I mean, right? So you've got to keep an eye on them. So Ornstein, for example, in an article recently, spoke about Slot, FSG being steadfastly behind him. No sign of a contract extension yet, but that's how steadfast they are behind him. But Liverpool intentions are going to go into next season. They're planning to blah blah blah. But then in a video, he was slightly different. He opened the door on him maybe leaving because he said, when he was talking about managers at other clubs, he said, well, we'll have to see what Liverpool do, right? So the point I'm trying to make here is none of them have categorically stated he will be at Liverpool next season. A viewer of mine, where is it? Here. Ian Pierce, you'll have seen him on the streams. He sent me this screenshot the other day. He left a comment on Captain Obvious's video, right? Captain Obvious, he's a nickname. We give nicknames to the journalists and everyone really, players, whatever. Over the years, it's just how we have a bit of banter, right? So Captain Obvious is David Lynch, right? You can work out why people call him Captain Obvious. Like we've got Bad News Pierce, James Pierce, because he always brings us bad news. I'm doing an article review on him in a minute. Don't miss that, right? So my viewer, Ian, left a comment on Captain Obvious's YouTube video, and it said, Dave, I love the channel, but we're naive. We know Slot's gone. To which Lynch replied, why does everybody keep saying they know this? Nobody knows this. But we do, bud. Even you do deep down. And he replied, David Lynch, he isn't gone, right? So my viewer, Ian, contacted me about it and said, look, and I went, no, but if you think about it, the journalist in question here is factually correct because he replied to you, he isn't gone, which means at that particular moment in time, he hasn't gone. So the journalist was right, and I pointed this out to Ian. So what I said to Ian was, reply to him and say, can you categorically tell me that he will be at Liverpool next season? And I said, I bet he doesn't reply. So he sent me another screenshot. And it says as follows, bless him, right? Can you categorically say he will be head coach at the start of the next season? And there was no reply. There might have been now, but there wasn't at the time when he sent the screenshot. So it might have been quick to answer the other questions or to point out facts, but categorically not responding, to say that he will be gone. So the majority of the journalists, the good and bad, are implying but not committing to the fact that he will be at Liverpool next season. I am in the minority. I'm in the minority because I don't think he will be. And I'm not doing what the other channels do on here. I know what gets said on other channels when people go, my sources tell me, right? We don't play those games around here. I've been in this light with Cop Talk for 30 years, and I have an extensive network of contacts, people that work for the club, people that are contracted to the club, used to work for the club, people that are at the training ground every day of the week, right? I know a lot of people, right? Because this Cop Talk goes back to before YouTube and Google and Facebook and Twitter existed, right? I was in there at the beginning. So I got in there, got to know people, etc., right? It's a long story, the Cop Talk story, right? But these people will tell you my VIP members on here. We've had chief executives, we've had owners of the club's members on here and taking part in our community. People that have tried to buy Liverpool Football Club over the years have been my friend, right? So, for example, my season tickets at Liverpool, I was never on a season ticket waiting list, right? The chief executive at the time gave them to me, right? So I would describe myself as very well connected. But I'm not saying that to you so you go, oh my God. No, I'm not saying that to you. I'm trying to show you some realism here, the real world, right? So despite all of that, despite working with the club and against the club at times over the years, and despite spending time with various owners of the club in America when they invited me over, when they bought the club and shit, many, many years ago, the other shower of shit, right? Despite being that close to everything, the amount of quality, as Rafa Benitez would say, quality information that you get from the club today, it's like that. It is so difficult to get, exclusive news from the club. It's very difficult. So because I'm experienced in that way, almost 30 years, all right, I think I have got a good idea of knowing how these things work, all right? So when I see these numpties on other YouTube channels say, my source has told me, I think, grow the fuck up, right? Grow the fuck up and just say, I'm making a calculated guess here based on common sense, right? Because on my channel, if I think there's someone that, has told me something that, I think you should listen to, I would word it in a different way. I wouldn't say to you, my source tells me, or a well-placed source. I just go, my feelings, from what I'm hearing, that's how I deal with information when it comes to me. And it's usually very, very, very limited, all right? So I'm always suspicious of people that know something all the time, right? Because I can assure you, the real world, it doesn't work like that. So what I'm doing is I'm basing my opinion on common sense. You'll often see me in a live stream go, I ain't got a fucking clue. But common sense suggests, right? And if you think about a lot of these so-called ITKs, these Twitter twats, they're doing like, they're making claims when it's easy to make claims. When it's dead quiet, when the journalists are not saying anything, you don't see the exclusives, right? If you follow my channel, you stay with this channel, you'll learn so much about these people. I'm not patronizing you or anything. I'm just telling you the truth, right? Because we analyze everything here. So nobody has said to me from within the club, connected to the club, a third party, a contractor, a friend at the club, someone that used to work for the club, someone that played for the club, plays for the club, an agent, media, journalist. No one has said to me in any direction he will go or he will stay. So my opinions, what I'm giving you, are based on what I believe just myself from common sense, right? Common sense to me suggests you've got a manager, you've got a chief executive or sporting director, whatever the fuck they want to call him, and Michael Edwards, laptop boy, right? None of them have got extensions to their contracts, right? So that suggests to me one of two things. One, they're not asked about them, or two, they're not asked about the club and they want out. They want to go and do something, right? If you have something of real value, you don't let it expire, right? So if Liverpool really were steadfastly behind Arne Slot, why was his contract not agreed ages ago then? Because you'd be terrified that you're going to lose him, right? We can't. His contract might get extended because here we go. Look, this is me being honest. I don't know what they're going to fucking do. His contract could get extended, but they ain't in a rush to fucking do that, are they? All right. So now you're in a situation where you've got a manager, a sporting director, and someone that plays Football Manager on a laptop. Right. Some people think the sun shines out of his ass. I've never understood it myself. All like basically in no man's land. And we know that if any of them leave, the executives, not Slot, you know the likes of Bad News Pierce will come out and say, well, it was always the intention that he was going to leave, right? Despite in September of this year, I think it was, certainly early doors in the campaign, the likes of Bad News Pierce writing articles saying, oh, we need to get these renewals done, you know, Slot needs an extension after his amazing season last year. Hughes and Edwards, they're running down. Now, they'll forget that they said that. If they leave, they'll say, oh, it was always the plan that they were going to leave, right? It's a load of shite. How can you work on transfers, right now and convince people to sign for us when they're going to be thinking the same as me and you? They're going to be thinking, well, is this guy going to be the matter? Who am I signing for? Like, chief executive as well, you know, like I want to be with people that have got 2, 3, 4 years on a deal because then I know that they want me to be there. Imagine being a player, you know, that's got an opportunity now and going, well, shall I go to Liverpool? Well, you know, I was going to get, Arne Slot said he really wants me in his team, you know, and Richard Hughes, he said the same fucking thing. But they could be gone by next year. They might be gone this summer. There's instability. So they have to do something at some point with them fuckers, right? They have to do something, guys, because there is no stability. They have to extend Arne Slot, for example, or they have to get rid of him. In my opinion, I think Slot goes. And it's the most bizarre statement I feel like I've ever made in the entire time of Cop Talk, because everything, and the fans, I think the majority of, are expecting him to stay. Because they will quote these journalists. I will counter-quote them by saying, well, if you actually read what that journalist says, he's not categorically saying he will be there. All right? So, for me, it feels very wide open. But I feel a numpty saying that because I know people, you know, these smart asses will come back if he stays and go, this age, well, they won't pay attention to the bit where I'm going, I actually have no fucking idea what's going to happen. They won't do that. They'll try and be smart. But it's how I feel. So what the others do, the other channels or content creators or whatever they want to call it, they go with what the feeling is. My sources tell me that he's staying. What they mean is Ornstein and Joyce, I forgot the names then, Ornstein and Joyce are alluding that's going to happen, so it's safe to go with that. You know, when there was talk of emails coming into this channel on the mail stand, which I tell you to take with a pinch of salt, that Slot's gone, Slot's done, Slot's this, I know that other channels were going, my sources told me he's finished, he's done. And I think, and this is where maturity, I don't know about maturity, experience comes in, that you shouldn't put your neck on it like that. Because, you know, football's got a habit of changing, right? So things can happen last minute. Lee Bowyer transfer. I can tell you categorically, Mario Balotelli will not be signing for Liverpool, signs for us the next day. Nabil Fekir, all right? We know that these things can change. So even if I had someone on the absolute inside saying to me, this is happening, nah. Do you know, so I mentioned this on a live stream the other night. There was, when Khalifa was involved, because there was a couple of attempts with Dubai to buy Liverpool Football Club years ago, a friend of mine at the time was part of that bid, right? Had it succeeded, they would have benefited quite financially. They would most likely have been the chairman, because I remember who was going to be, you know, the chairman, the chief executive. You know, I knew the setup, and they were giving me information daily and they were on here, on the members' website. That's not me trying to sell that to you. I'm just telling you that's fucking some serious people on there, right? So back in the day, we were talking then, they were telling me how negotiations were going, what was happening, etc., etc., etc. And do you know what he said to me? This is a guy leading the takeover attempt of Liverpool Football Club at the time. He said to me, Because let me step one back. I said, how certain are you that this deal will go through? Do you know what he said? 1,000%. Was it a bit? No, it wasn't. It was a billion. I've got to be right. It was a billion. I am a billion% certain that this deal will go through. Now, do you think that sounds pretty certain? Not 100%, not 1,000, which I just fucked up on. Not 100%, but a billion% certain. So I went on here and I spoke to my peoples and I said, listen, you know, these guys knew who it was at the time. I said, he's just spoke to me. He's told me billion% certain it's going to happen. Did it happen? No. So I learned from that experience that you don't put your neck on it. You know, don't put, you know, just don't. There's no need to. Just tell people your opinions. If they've got any respect for you or if they've followed you for a long time, they know whether you chat shit or not. Right? So I learned from that. Don't do it, even if you're really, really confident. What's the point? You just look a fucking idiot when you don't. And even if something's changed and you were being genuine and telling the truth, which not many people do on here or on social media, you may have realised. Even if something's changed, most people are too thick to understand that things can change in football. And they don't really take that into consideration. So here, you're not going to get bold claims. What you're going to get is, this is my opinion. I'm basing it on a bit of experience, maybe a bit of chatter, what's going on in the background, and maybe a bit of predicting what's going on, you know, you see in the media and common sense, right? And my opinion right now is that Arne Slot will not remain at Liverpool Football Club. And even if he did remain at Liverpool Football Club this summer, he'll be gone by Christmas. That's what I think. Does it mean I'm right? Well, who knows? We'll see, won't we? If I'm right, I'm sure I'll spin it to suit me and I'll go, DKB, Dunk knows best. I always knew, you know, like the others do. If it don't happen, I'll go, well, I was wrong, wasn't I? But I'll tell you this, if I am wrong, right? If I am wrong and he stays as head coach, manager, whatever the fucking hell you want to call him, right? If he stays, something's off somewhere. Mark my words. And I've said this for weeks. Something doesn't feel right to me, right? So I can think of a number of reasons why they might not cull him now, right? Even if they wanted to. But I'm not going to say them, because if I say them, you'll think I'm alluding to something, right? People latch on to things. Like, for example, if I said, maybe they're not, you know, really in that much of a concern about that situation because they're planning to exit the club, people will then go, oh, they're looking to sell. No, it's just maybe, you know. So you've got to be careful with your words. In my opinion, I can't see him staying at Liverpool. And I feel stupid saying that because everything suggests really that he is going to stay. But I'm sticking to my fucking opinion. I'm not going to flip-flop. I'm not going to tell you I'm shutting down my channel and retiring forever if I get it wrong, because I couldn't give a fuck what people think. I'm telling you from my heart, that's my hunch. My hunch is that he won't stay as manager. But if he does, this is my get out. This is my get out clause. If he does, I bet you a fucking free kebab. Because I was going to say £1 million, but I ain't got £1 million. Well, officially. If he does stay, I fucking guarantee at some point we'll work out why that was. I'm telling you. Mark my words. DKB will be right with this. One way or the other. So I think I've done typical ITK there. I think I've made every claim possible so I can say, hang on, I said that. No, it's just the way I feel. My genuine thoughts is that he won't be at the club. And if he doesn't go, if he doesn't go, if he stays at the club, I will then be confused because I'm confused already, right? So if he doesn't go, I will be confused and I'll be left wondering why that possibly could be. But then I think something will happen where I go, makes sense now. Now, maybe you didn't enjoy the video or understand the video, right? But on here, you're going to get real talk, right? You're not going to get someone, for 3 minutes, and I can do a lot in 3 minutes, girls. Mark my fucking words, if I've got my aspirin. I'm not coming on here to make videos 3 minutes for maximum viewer retention. I couldn't give a fuck about maximum viewer retention. You have all these statistics, people stop watching at that. Well, fuck them then. I'm not going to rush what I feel in 3 minutes. There is definitely a joke in there somewhere, right? So, I think he goes, and I'm staying with it. If my feelings change, I'll make a new video about that, right? I know I'm on my own with this, but that's how I feel. We shall see. All right. I hope you found the video a little bit interesting. Was it 1,000,000,000% or 1,000%? Even I've forgot now. It was 1,000%, 1,000,000,000%. Someone's going to have to tell me. One of the old school VIP members, you're going to have to tell me what I said. Actually, I can't remember. But I do know it was greatly higher than 100%. And from that day, I've always thought, nah, fuck that, I'm not doing that. Nah, just give people your opinions, and then when they come back later and go, you fucking knew something, then you claim you did. All right? Just like all the other fucking idiots do. Right, I'll leave it with you guys. If you enjoyed this video, here comes the grift, by the way. If you enjoyed this video, please thumbs up the video. If it's upset you somewhere, thumbs it down. Watch me cry into my swimming pool. Drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. What do you think? You think he's going? Or are you convinced he's staying? I'll tell you something now. I won't watch a fucking game if he stays. All right? Which won't be too difficult because I hardly watched any last season. There's love out on the channel. If you want to support the channel, it's called the Super Thanks. I'm super and I deserve a thanks. There's also a channel membership. You can join the channel. You get a football next to your name. That tells everyone you're fucking squad. Part of my squad. My peoples. All right? 3 links in the video description. Alternative ways of supporting me. Revolut is my fuck it fund. That's my beer kit for weekends. And it's not much in it at the moment. But I reckon my peoples will come round before Sunday, which is when I'm going to have a good drink. All right? I hope you enjoyed the video. Probably a little bit too long-winded, this one, which is nothing new from my videos. I could have just said at the beginning, I think he's staying or going. But I just need to explain myself sometimes and what I think. And my thinking is he will go. And my thinking is if he doesn't, I'll be confused. But I think something will come out that will make us understand why that is. That could be, you know, someone's contract expiring later or something. I don't know. I don't want to, you know, come up with ideas and give you false, you know, information or something. But something will add up somewhere on the line. One way or the other, we're going to know very soon. All right? I feel like I've butchered the video a bit, but I'm not going to record it again. All right, guys, I'll leave it with you. All right, cheers.